So the 2017 statistics regarding road fatalities are alarming, and usually there's a spike during the Christmas season. Senior Superintendent Calvin Allen is here to help us stay safe during the holidays and beyond. Morning, sir.
A pleasant
morning. Sir. How
morning.
are you?
Welcome to Smile Jamaica. Always good to see you. Let me get this out of the way. I forgot to pay your ticket, sir. I think I should have paid it by the 23rd, and I just looked at the ticket and I missed the court date also, which should have been December 4. What's the next move, sir?
So you have missed both payment date and you have missed court date.
Yes, sir.
So you now journey down to the traffic court at window 2 at the traffic court, where you'll be interacting with the clerk of court in terms of making arrangement for your appearance.
But I couldn't.
And the fact that
your appearance, sir?
Yeah, the fact that and the fact that you are not necessarily contesting.
I am not contesting.
Yeah,
sir.
it will be an easy process.
Okay.
So window 2 at the traffic court.
So nobody not going to stop me and just lock me up.
Based on the time frame, I don't think the warrant is yet ready for you.
SSP, check, please, because I don't have enough bail money, and I'm the only person in this world with a heart to bail him out.
Well, let me say I apologize for missing that, sir.
That's so noble of you. I love that. You're a good youth, you know. Sir, please don't lock him up. I know that's the plan.
Senior Soap, how tough is it for you guys at this time of year?
Very tough. Although the fatalities could be somewhat alarming, 300 persons have died up to this morning.
In 2017?
In 2017.
This is road fatality.
Yeah, road fatality. What is encouraging about it is the fact that last year, this very time, we had lost 58 more lives. So in essence, we are looking at basically a 17% reduction in road deaths. And we take that as somewhat of an encouraging
yeah, man, if it's even 1%
lower. Even one. So 58 less lives have been lost on the nation street. Whilst in a correlated way, our road policing activities is about a 20% increase in that.
Yeah. Is there an area that it seems to be more like, is it pedestrians, is it motorcyclists, is it what?
The western end of Jamaica, especially with the motorcyclists, is an area of continued focus. Just recently we did an audit of the motorcycles that have been seized, and one of the things that we are realizing is that the owners have not necessarily come back with any documents to reclaim their property after seizure, but they are seen riding a new one or driving a new motorcycle, I should say.
So why would they not come back?
There's a particular culture in the western end that we will have to work in a collective way, all stakeholders, to see how best we can somehow change the mindset that exists there.
What is what? It's not their bikes, it don't insure them, just decide them don't want to take it.
It's theirs, but in terms of compliance with the Road Traffic Act, it's not licensed, it's not insured, no registration plate. So they just go and pick it up from the dealer and they are out on the road.
So the new one that they get is the same thing too?
New one that they get is the same thing. But so we have to continue our robust activities in that regard.
Let me ask you, with this 17.5% reduction in fatalities compared to last year, we still have another, 13 days, another 20-something days, let's say, before next year.
Today being the 12th?
Yeah.
So we have 19 days to close the year.
19 days, yeah. What's the prediction looking like? Are we going to...
I'm really not going to predict. I would mind if we don't have one more for the next 19 days.
But SSB, it's a trend that I'm looking at. So we're looking at the fatalities, 300 already. What is the trend? Is it drinking and driving? Is it road rage? Is it taxis? Is it men? Is it women? What are the stats showing us with the behavior?
Motorcyclists and pedestrians. And they are regarded as two of the vulnerable road users. They are featured and they are leading in the fatal count. Motorcyclists, this time we are now at 86 in terms of motorcyclists. Last year it was 87. Pedestrian is right on par. Last year 80, and this year we have 80.
Why?
80 pedestrians?
Why? They don't know how to use it.
Yeah, we are seeing a lot of instances where pedestrian has not engaged the roadway as to how they have been taught and reminded on a daily basis. Up to as recent as a week and a half ago, I think in Clarendon, a youngster coming from school hopped onto a truck, lost his balance, fell off, and that's it. Right? And we would have seen the the traffic warden that lost his life on Mountain View Avenue on Monday whilst he was on duty. Right, that driver is in for some encounters with the law, and we are going to ensure that the full course of action is taken in that regard.
So he didn't stop when he was supposed to,
he had mentioned about failure of brake, but operating within that school zone, wet road, we expect that these drivers should demonstrate far more care and maturity as they use the various corridors.
What about hot spots? Because I know sometimes you drive and you see crash hot spots.
Yes, last year, and thankfully last year, the Landouvre main road in St. Anne was one of those areas. Last year we got some 15 deaths from it. In one collision, 5 persons lost their life. And it was one of those areas that we ensured that we gave particular focus on. I think since this year we have only had about 3 or 4 that have occurred in that regard. So yes, we have those areas that are regarded as bad spots. And it is any area of road where we have had 2 or more fatal collision in any one year. And we ensure that we give the requisite attention.
Is the road what? Is it speeding?
Excessive speeding, improper overtaking, and drivers failing to keep their lane or to keep left are factors. And excessive speeding speaks for itself. Improper overtaking also speaks for itself. But we are seeing where drivers are overtaking in the vicinity of an intersection. That's a no-no. A vehicle can just drive out from an intersection. Drivers are overtaking on a bridge. That's a no-no. Internationally, the unbroken white line is a clear signal to you that that is not an area for you to overtake, and we are seeing that. So these are areas for continued enforcement and public education.
Public education is right. Senior Soup, we're talking about putting safety first this Christmas. And this morning, I was very disturbed with a video that my driver showed me of a young girl that was, it's her testimony via video, that a taxi picked her up with a woman in the front, took her out, licked her with gun. The video is out there. It's going viral. And we're hearing the story every day. And it's very hard for some people to get around with the public transport. What are we going to do about that? It is very disturbing, sir, and we need to do more. We need to do more. The police force needs to do more. The government, the national security. It is a war against our women in public transport system.
And so critical in the whole dynamics that yes, whilst there need to be more in terms of even enforcement and education, putting safety first, as was said, also speaks to the individual citizen taking greater care in what vehicle you go into, even if it's a female in it. And the whole aspect of even leaving to go shopping. We're saying to parents, because at this time several of children go out as a group to go and do their shopping, we're saying to remind them of the safety tips. You go to the plaza, you want to use the restroom, you don't go in and leave your colleagues outside. You move together, right? So these are some things. The public passenger vehicle you decide to take, be careful in that regard. So there are several things that I want for people to pay attention to in putting safety first, to include your children want to go to the parties, we say it is safer for you to take them there, and when they are ready, they call to come and pick you up instead of you give them that car. Because we are seeing where, in terms of the demographics, age 20 to 34, about 130 of the 300 lives falls within that category of persons that have died.
Thanks for coming, sir. Be safe. And again, I apologize for being delinquent, sir. Head of the Police Traffic Division, Senior Superintendent Calvin Allen. We take a break and we come back in just a little while. Stay with us, please.